Hello and welcome to Red's Cast. I am joined by Ste today. How are we doing?
I'm doing well, thanks.
Reds are still smashing it.
It's amazing at the minute. We've been through so much, shit.
Yeah, see for me, I've only obviously seen bad teams. You're a bit older than me. You've probably seen some of the good teams as well.
Yeah, I mean, I was born in 1980. My dad was taking me to the match from when I was 2.
Yeah.
So I've seen some amazing stuff, but this, I don't really remember that. I was 3, 4, 5 going on the cop, which sounds great, but I remember some of the songs and whatever, but I don't remember much of the football. But this, in my adult lifetime, it's just
Best team you've ever seen.
Best team I've ever seen by far.
I think that as well. Best than the Barca's United have passed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easily. I mean, for me, it's easy to be a little bit biased as a Red, but I don't even think it's being that biased. I really do think
It's the best team.
it's the best.
So we go into the United game. We dominated first half, but we had a scare after second half, didn't we?
A little bit. They had a few chances. I think there was one towards the end of the first half as well, wasn't there?
Yeah.
It was Andreas.
Yeah.
Should have scored.
Martial should have scored.
I mean, that was great to see.
Yeah. See, United have passed. You'd never see them miss chances like that. Like the Uniteds under Fergie, they were just so consistent, so dominant.
Yeah.
What's changed? Is it the manager? Is it the above? So
I think it's from the top down. To be honest with you, the last few years certainly they just don't seem relevant anymore.
Yeah.
They were always growing up. Probably certainly more for you.
Yeah.
They were the team.
Yeah. Every single time they always won. It was horrendous.
So it's good to see them struggling, if I'm honest.
Definitely.
It is, and it's good to see they're struggling at a time where we're just smashing it.
Yeah, absolutely unbelievable. Despite that though, we had 16 shots to their 9, but only 5 of ours were on target and 4 of theirs were. So I don't think that's good enough from Liverpool. 5 shots out of 16. We did miss a lot of chances.
We did. Accuracy, I think, is quite poor from Salah lately.
Yeah.
He's being a bit greedy.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
shooting when he shouldn't.
I've said he's wasting too many chances, but he won us the game, so you won't talk about the chances.
No. All you remember is that minute.
Yeah, because obviously that, to me, we aren't going to have that last, when City first won it with Aguero, we aren't going to have that last day of the season scoring a goal that wins it. But was that goal that for us?
For me, yeah.
Because for me, that's 16 points clear off that win.
When that goal went in, I think most of the Reds are the same. I filled up a bit. I was like, yeah. That's the moment.
We've just won the league.
Yeah.
I was sat in work, so wow. Just couldn't believe it. But do you feel like Salah's better when he hasn't got to think about what he's doing and it's just instinct? So that goal, he was obviously running through one-on-one with De Gea. Daniel James was trying to challenge him, but he didn't have time to think. It was just a matter of just hit it and hope for the best.
100%.
But when he's got time to think,
he does too much.
He got lucky against Wolves with the Bobby goal, but when he's got time to think, he just tries to do everything. Tries to make it perfect.
I mean, it was quite apparent against Wolves as well, because there was at least two gilt-edged chances where he could have just squared. I think one was to Minamino or something, and he was free on goal and he just did too much. He's overthinking it.
Definitely overthinking it. We had 54% possession as well, dominant as always, and 11 corners. Now United are notoriously weak on corners. I know we obviously scored from a corner, but should we have capitalised having more corners, having 11 of them?
I think so. Again, it's a bit of a poor conversion, isn't it?
It does me head in because Trent's so good, but then sometimes he just can't beat that first man. Andy Robertson can't take a corner. He's openly said he can hit a ball better when it's rolling, but 11 corners and we only got one goal. I mean, it is me complaining we won United 2-0. But I'm just trying to think of points where Liverpool could have improved against United.
I think because Van Dijk is so dominant in the air, it's a surprise me he hasn't scored more goals, especially from corners.
Does he ever get beaten in the air?
Not defensively.
He's only scored 4 goals in the Prem this season, it's crazy because when it does reach him, he always reaches that ball.
Yeah, but when he gets his head on it towards goal, more often than not, he scores. But it's, I don't know, I can't pinpoint what the issue is there, to be honest with you. We should be banging them in. He should be getting a goal every other game.
I know, especially with United because they play a zonal marking system now. If you think back to when we had Rafa, zonal marking used to absolutely kill us every single game.
That used to hurt my brain. That's
So they're doing zonal marking. So before the game, I was thinking, oh, we're so good on corners, zonal marking, we're going to rinse them on it, and we just didn't. I mean, we scored from a corner, but to me, we should have done more.
Exactly. I mean, that one we did score, Van Dijk was marked by a midget.
Yeah.
I mean, alright, it was zonal marking, but there was one player following him, and Maguire sat back on the 6-yard box and reacted too late. It should be, alright, if you're going to do zonal marking, fine, but you need to be aware of what's coming toward you as well.
Speaking of Maguire and Bissaka, how bad are they?
Oh, I mean, for the money they spent.
80 million, wasn't it, on Maguire?
85 Maguire. I mean, we spent 75 on Virgil van Dijk. He's got more talent in his big toe than Maguire's.
I can't believe how. And he's on more money a week than Van Dijk as well, by about £30,000.
They just made him captain too.
They've just made him captain. Which to me, I mean, I'm made up seeing United decline, but if you're a club and you're making a new club captain, the most loyal player who's saved them the most in that team is David De Gea. Granted, he's not what he used to be anymore, but why is he not the captain? Like, imagine what that feels like to loyal players, that someone's come in the summer because they bought him for a big fee. It's like, oh, you can be our club
He's
captain
done
now.
over the past few years so much for United.
Yeah, he's kept him in everything, hasn't he? Really,
he's been the best player for a number of seasons, and he's been there. Is there any players who've been there any longer than him?
I don't think so. Maybe Rashford, because he's been there since he was a kid. But in terms of like first team minutes, I think De Gea's probably.
If you look at the incident where they give the foul against Van Dijk for that goal, I mean, the United have been done for not controlling the players and all that. But if you've seen that picture of them all running at the ref, you see who's the most angry and the most passionate, and it's De Gea. And
by the way, that was definitely not a foul.
VAR's taking the piss on that one. To be honest with you,
definitely not a foul. They said it in the studio as well. Even Roy Keane said that it definitely wasn't a foul. And to hear someone like that who's United through and through saying that should have been a goal.
That must have choked them. That must have choked them. And to watch them before the game as well, him and Evra, saying the title's Liverpool's, that must have hurt them.
It was the best thing I've ever watched, to be honest, especially Evra.
Getting back to that Van Dijk thing, he was like, he couldn't have. There's no other fairer way he could have attempted to
get that ball. He moved himself out the way, didn't he? And De Gea's knocked it. It reminds me of like when Pickford knocked it for Divock.
Yeah.
He just knocked the ball, and amazing finish by Bobby. Should never have been ruled out. And he was robbed of his goal from Anfield, which hasn't happened for some time. But he can score away all he wants. I'm not bothered with his score Anfield.
He's got 25 away goals, who cares?
Yeah, exactly. But people are talking about Van Dijk, but how good's Joe Gomez?
He's not talked about enough because of Van Dijk.
And everyone's been saying like, oh, Matip's back now. Matip doesn't get in this team. No. Matip's unbelievable, but he doesn't get in this team.
And Lovren hasn't got a shout.
No.
They'll probably both play Sunday.
Yeah.
I think it'll be Matip and Lovren at the back on Sunday against Shrewsbury.
But it's good. Like years ago, Liverpool's defence was so bad, and to have a defence now where I personally strongly believe everyone talks about Laporte and City and their decline. I think if Van Dijk wasn't in the team and we had Gomez and Matip, we'd be alright.
He would, yeah.
I think, obviously I don't want Van Dijk to get injured.
No, I mean, we might lose maybe 1 or 2 games, or we might draw a game where we could win, but it wouldn't cost us the title.
Yeah, because without Laporte, they've just crumbled.
Yeah.
And then to be honest with you, I never used to think, last season, I don't think back to their games, I think, oh my god, Laporte, he's world class. He's a good defender, but I don't think he's world class.
Is he that important to them, or if the head's just gone?
I think as Liverpool got further and further ahead, I think the heads have gone, because even by Fernandinho, he's not as good as I last remember watching City.
I mean, last couple of years, he's been one of their most important players.
If they didn't play, he
wouldn't notice even he's not there. Like,
but I just Gomez 4 to 6 duels won, 91 successful passes, dispossessed once in the game. Van Dijk's apprentice, really, isn't he?
He is, and you say you can stick any one of our central defenders next to Van Dijk and they'd look special, but he standalone, he would. I think he's
been playing absolutely sublime.
Yeah,
unbelievable, and Henderson as well. Now, notoriously, I did not like Jordan Henderson. I'm the first one to admit it. He wasn't my favourite player. I thought he was rubbish. I've called him a crab. He used to just pass the ball sideways.
Yeah.
6 successful tackles in this one. 76 successful passes. Is he in PFA Player of the Year for?
He should be. He should be. I mean, he's. It's looking like the league's ours.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone in the right mind. I don't think anyone in the right mind would say
if we slip up now, I'm never watching football again.
But yeah, that'd kill me, to be fair. I mean, Henderson, the guy has won, assuming we win the league, everything he can win in a year.
Bar like the league and League Cup and FA Cup, but he's won the Champions League, Super Cup.
He might still win the FA Cup.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't rule that out.
I don't think we'll go far in the FA Cup. I think the Premier League's full focus for Klopp. I think he wants to get it wrapped up as soon as possible, so that we can focus on the Champions League and try and do the double. If we've done that, that's just dreams, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, but I still think the FA Cup. You look at the team we put out against Everton.
They've done a job.
They've done a job, and that's like.
It's Everton's first team.
That's Everton's first team, and they're, a mid-table Premier League side, and in the earlier rounds, we're only going to come up against so many teams like that.
Yeah, I think Shrewsbury was more as a game up on Everton, but we'll talk about that in a bit. But what did you make of Ox's reaction? I mean, he's come back from injury. It wasn't his best game he's ever played in the red shirt. But for me, that reaction of punching the chair in the dugout was just sheer passion. Like, I want players that don't want to come off the pitch. He was playing United. People still regard it as one of the biggest games of the season. It's not anymore. But that passion is what you want at Liverpool.
You do. You want to see that. And the same... It's a similar thing when Mane had a go coming off a couple of months back. It shows that he cared. And I think for Chamberlain, it was like partly frustration because he never had his best game or whatever. But it's good to see that.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
I don't want to see me players walking off with a big
smile.
Big smile. Oh, I can get a rest now or whatever. You want them wanting to play. I was wanting to do well.
A bit disappointed to not see Minamino against United. I know we struggled at the start in the first half against Wolves, but we'll touch on that later. But I think he would have done really well against United. I think the midfield was crying out for someone like that. He was just everywhere. Just another Bobby. Bobby was obviously in the game as well, but just another Bobby. 2 Bobbies against United would have.
Yeah, I think in years gone by, he'd have probably got a game, but because the bench is that strong, the squad's that strong, it's hard for anyone coming in, and he looks like he's made for us.
Yeah.
But he's going to need a few games.
What do you think about Jurgen? He always seems to take Mane off and leave Salah on. Now, it was the right decision against United because Salah got the winning goal, but for me, Mane just adds that little bit more than Mo.
I think so. Salah's not been at his best.
Yeah. We say
he's scoring us winners and he's doing bits but
I think we've that first season we've just been overprivileged by him in a sense of like he was just unhuman. So now we're expecting that, but it was never ever going to be like that, was it?
And he can't do that week in, week out forever. Yeah. But Mane just offers something a bit different.
If we was to get rid of any of the front three, I think I'd go with Mo. If someone was to say to me, you can bring Mbappe in, which one are you losing? It'd be Mo all day.
Salah all day. And it's harsh because he's world class, but I just think he's more replaceable than the other two.
Especially Mane. When Mane's, I think he's had a few. He's not been at his best in the past few games, but when Mane's got it switched on, there's no stopping him. He's best player in the world.
Yeah,
I'd go as far as saying that.
He's up there. He's up there.
Apart from obviously like Van Dijk. But I'd. Mane, for what he's done for Liverpool and how much he's improved, I would say he is the best player in the world. I write Messi and Ronaldo out of it now because for me, like with the Ballon d'Or this year, Messi's done it so often. So what he done last year was nothing new. It was normal.
It was just
Messi. Yeah. But then with Van Dijk, what he done for Liverpool, he should have obviously won it. But Messi's Messi, isn't he?
Messi's Messi. He gets it just by name, and even if Messi has a bit of an average season, he still gets major stats because he's in a shit league and he's Messi.
Yeah, exactly that. But 33 points ahead of United with the game in hand. We are now currently at the date of recording. Is United still a big game for Liverpool?
Yeah, I mean for me, although the last few years they've been 30 points behind us. What it was 30 points last year or whatever. So as a title challenger, they're not really that relevant. But just through the history of the two clubs, I think I always get the buzz for the United game.
See, I had that buzz, but when I was younger, the buzz used to just be, we're going to get beat today. Where, like, on the weekend, it was just, these are rubbish. And if we don't win, I'm disappointed. So when the game was panning out and it looked like they were going to score, I was just like, how Liverpool? Like, I honestly thought we would have a performance like we did against Leicester, against United. But then it just goes to show Liverpool felt like they didn't need to turn up on the day and absolutely kill it. Because when Liverpool want to turn up, they'll turn up. The City game and the Leicester games, they've just turned up. We're probably not going to turn up again now and be the Liverpool we know and love till City again. We don't play a team outside the top six, inside the top six again till City.
Yeah.
So we could literally wrap the league up before the ball's kicked at City because they've got to play like United, Chelsea, Tottenham in that time.
So there's points going to be dropped somewhere, and I think that's a bit of a pattern for Liverpool this season. They've done enough to win the game, whoever that game may be. If we turn up and we're playing like an average team, Villa or whoever it might be, they do enough to beat Villa. And then we'll turn up against City, and City will step it up, so we'll just step it up, and we'll just do enough to get
the
through the game.
king of last minute goals, aren't we? Again against Wolves. So we're going to talk about some real competition now though. Wolves to me was a bigger game than United. Wolves offer more, they challenge more. Some game, they play some fantastic football, Wolves.
I think they're the best opponent we've come up against this season.
They give us a game.
They give us a scare. That Adama Traore is just a unit.
Yeah.
And he had Robbo blowing out of his arse after about half an hour, and I don't think he recovered.
Well, how good do you think Adama is? Wolves are rumoured to be asking for 70 million for him. Should we look to pay that and have? But then, if you're paying that much money, is he covered to front three, or would he be expecting to start?
I think he's had one good season, is he?
Yeah.
He had a decent end to last season.
And then
a
this
decent
season.
start. I wouldn't pay 70 million for him now.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit of a risk. It could be a one-season wonder. Although, looking at him,
he looks
he looks the business, like, but time will tell.
I think he's going to end up being a United player in the sense of they just look to buy anyone they can at the minute, just so they can say to the fans, "Oh, we've tried." Sort of thing.
We've bought the most popular player in the league, or the player people think is going to do the best, or whatever.
But then
they don't really look into
when
it.
they're linked to players, they were linked to Bruno Fernandes, and I was worried about that. I rate him very highly, and that's just
That been shut down now,
by the sounds of it, yeah. But back to Adama, he's 23. Just think of the potential he could reach under Jurgen.
Yeah. I mean, you think if he's going for 20, 30 million, I would say snap him up.
Yeah.
With 70 million, I think.
I think that what Wolves are looking at, they want to make a profit, and they know, given today's market, that's nothing anymore. I think if you was to buy Van Dijk now, he's probably easily 150, 200 million.
Yeah.
So today's market just went crazy since all the big money moves have happened.
Yeah. And there's only going to be so many clubs who are going to have the money to be spending 70 million on him.
I'm a Wolves player.
I know. It's going to be the. I mean, I couldn't even see City going for him. I don't think he'd start for City. I don't think he'd start for us.
I think City are going to have a big rebuild in the summer, but I still don't think they've got Bernardo.
They've got Bernardo Silva. They've got Mahrez. When he comes in, he does the job really well. A few years back, I'd have took Mahrez.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no chance. But with that game, we had 13 shots, 6 on target. Wolves had 10 shots, 3 on target. I believe if Wolves were more clinical, they would have beat us.
Yeah.
Because they were, the way they passed the ball, the cross-field passes, they were just killing us off. Like,
you couldn't come away saying, "Oh, we didn't deserve to get beat," or because the one team this season they've had an actual goal rush.
Yeah.
And
they weren't scared of us. They weren't like, these are the European champions, soon to be English champions. They weren't like in awe of the players. They just went for it and just didn't give up. And they played a bit like when Liverpool are killing games off, like when you think back to Spurs and the cross-field passes we do, so the players are constantly running side to side, killing them off. Wolves were doing that to us, and they weren't messing up either. Like, their pass completion rate was something stupid, like 600 not passes they completed. They were. When I was watching, I just thought they're doing this to kill us off. They were happy with a draw, and rightfully so. If they got a draw against Liverpool, that's a massive result for them. But we found a way again.
We did. One thing that I was quite impressed about with Wolves is they isolated our fullbacks. There was numerous times where Robertson would be on his own, and it'd be Traore, and then you'd have that Doherty, and then you'd also have Neves coming over, so you'd have 3 players
On Robbo,
and then the same on the other side with Trent.
They play quite similar football to Liverpool in a sense of they can kill games off and they know how to play. I think he'll go under the radar a bit for Wolves from that game, because everyone's talking about Traore, but that Pedro Neto, he's going to be some player. I mean, he's only 19, a Mexican. So he reminds me a little bit of Chicharito when he went to United, that type of player. He's just everywhere.
I just hope for his sake he doesn't do something stupid like go to United.
Yeah.
He needs to stay at Wolves. And Raul Jimenez as well. They've got
some talent, haven't they, in the team?
Some really, really good players there. Neves is one for me. I'm a bit disappointed in Neves, to be honest with you.
It's the hype. I remember when he first went to Wolves, he was in the Championship and he was unbelievable.
He was scoring goals from like 30 yards.
I remember thinking...
I had him in my fancy team the first time. I was like, right, I'm having that.
And he's he's good, but he's not what everyone made him out to be.
He's not lived up to the hype, which is disappointing. And he's a decent enough player, but...
He's still a kid, but then it's just... I think the likes of them are under the best coach they can be, that Nuno Espirito. He's Portuguese, he's working with Portuguese players, the core of that's Portuguese. And I think Wolves are unlucky to be where they are in the table. I think they should be top 4. I think they're a better side than Chelsea this year.
If they give the manager time, and if he can keep that group of players, and maybe have a couple that they can challenge top 4.
I think them and Sheffield United are the bit standout teams this year, apart from Liverpool. I think when everyone's saying the league's being horrendous, everyone just says that because Liverpool win. But when you look at Sheffield United, what they've done, Wolves, what they've done, the league's got some seriously talented teams in it.
Yeah, Sheffield United have really impressed me and surprised me, to be honest with you. I thought they were going to come up and just be hovering above the relegation, be a whipping boys for a few teams. But they've surprised. They're a really good team. They play good footy.
The game against City, they were unlucky to get beat. Yeah. They absolutely dominated City for the whole game. City looked lost. They were lucky. Aguero saved them again. Best striker the Premier League ever seen. I'll stand by that. Even though he plays for City, he's some player. But Sheffield United are incredible. So are Wolves. So it surprised me. Liverpool actually had 54% of possession against Wolves, which surprised me.
I thought they would have outpossessed us in that game.
It just seemed like that Liverpool were just chasing the game a lot of the times. But Bobby again, obviously it come from, we spoke about in the United game, it come from Mo being, would you say, greedy? I
mean, to a certain extent you want your strikers to be greedy.
Yeah.
Because that's what they're there for. They're there to score goals, I think, but they've got to assess each situation. Like, there's times there where Mo, fair enough, he's made 8 yards out from goal, but he's got 5 defenders in his way. Yeah. And it's like, you're not going to score from there. There's a time to be greedy, and when you've got that many defenders in your way, that's not the time to shoot. You touched
on it before with the Minamino. He was through on goal. It was just literally a square field pass. And Minamino, we know he can finish. He scored at Anfield. We know he can score goals, but I just don't know when like I said, when he's got that time to think. It's just like, it takes back to the Chelsea goal when he didn't have time to think and he rockets it. Now I think he's a perfectionist with Salah, and you do want perfectionists, but he just wants everything to be perfect, and sometimes he just takes that too many touches.
He does. He's so guilty of overthinking when he's got time.
Yeah, he's a massive confidence player as well, but he's just one of them players who, if in the moment, if it happens, there's nobody better than him.
No.
But then when he's got that time to think about it, he lacks that little bit.
I know. You look back to, was it against Watford at Anfield a couple of years back, and he was in that situation where he had 5 defenders in front of him. And he went to shoot and he just dinked and they all fell over.
Yeah.
And he scored, so I think he had more time to think about it the other day. And that's what messed him up.
Yeah. Because when it's just like a second decision and he's got to go with the first thing he's thought of, he's unbelievable. But when he's just got that time to think, shall I do this or shall I do this, then he ends up choosing the latter, and it usually doesn't work.
I think that's probably the case with most players, but it just seems more apparent with Salah.
Definitely. Joe Gomez again, Rolls Royce defender, 87 successful passes, 4 blocks, 2 out of 2 defensive duels won, 1 out of 1 offensive duels won, 100% success rate. No player on the field had 100% aerial duel success rate other than Joe Gomez.
That's incredible, to be honest with you.
He's a kid still as well.
He's still a kid, and he is so lucky to be learning from Van Dijk, because he would have been, a good defender or a good player or whatever, but I think that the learning curve that he's on with Van Dijk next to him has just shot him.
When you think of Liverpool's defence as well, Gomez naturally is a right back, so he's got the pace. Trent's got pace, Robbo's got pace, Van Dijk is so fast. So our whole defence is just rapid, but Joe Gomez, for me, learning from the best defender ever. Is it fair enough to say that about Van Dijk, the best ever?
It's easy to say that using your memory, because like the most recent players, you always feel like they're the best, but I mean, I can't think.
Is he best in Hansen stuff from back in the day?
I was too young to really.
See, I've seen people saying he's the best they've ever seen. So, and when you think about it, Liverpool have had some phenomenal defenders. When you think there's been like Hansen, and like modern days, there's been Carragher's, Hippier's.
The best I remember is Hippier.
Yeah.
He was immense. He was similar to Van Dijk, where he just seemed to be. He was just in the right place. He didn't have to run, or I mean, if he got someone in behind him, he couldn't turn. Hippier, but it was very rare he would have to do that because he just won everything.
Well, I haven't been this excited about a centre-back partnership since Carragher and Hippier. Yeah. I don't know if that's... Loads of people always say, and Carragher himself has said he was never that good, he was just passionate, but to me, Jamie Carragher was unbelievable. The passion he had, the love for the team, he was the voice, although Gerrard was the captain, he was the voice, and Gerrard said that himself, but that partnership now, I don't even think would get into this Liverpool team ahead of Gomez and Van Dijk.
No, Carragher wouldn't get in against ahead of Gomez, I don't think.
No.
Just on, you can't get in just on passion, and Carragher was an alright footballer, and he was a good defender, but he gave it his all.
Yeah.
And
it was probably one of my favourite players, Carragher.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone talks about Gerrard, but for me, Carragher was probably my favourite player, just for his love for the club, his passion, his knowledge of the game. He was unbelievable, but to say... It's credit to Joe Gomez, really, saying Carragher wouldn't get in over him. Because the worry...
Carragher's... I mean, he's seen as one of the best defenders we've ever had.
Yeah. Rightfully so as well. When you think back to a few weeks ago, when Matip was injured, everyone's like, what are we going to do? Because Gomez, when he had played, had been shaky and had a mistake in him. Like Lovren, he's always got a mistake in him. He can have a good game, but he will make one mistake in that game, no matter what. But since the last, apart from the Wolves game where we did concede, that was the 8th game he's played with Van Dijk, and 7 of them were clean sheets consistently. So you just can't change. You can't change that.
No, I wouldn't take him out. I mean, I'll take him out obviously for the Shrewsbury game, but going forward in the Premier League, I think that's got to be your centre back pairing is Van Dijk and Gomez.
And when you look at the Liverpool team as well, it's not one of them teams that's going to be like this year and then next year it'll be City again.
No.
When you look at the team, the only oldest players are Milner and Henderson.
Yeah.
Now there's already backups for them coming through. Liverpool probably go in the market again in the summer and play, and probably. I think it depends if Leeds come up. If Leeds come up, I think James Milner will.
I think he'll want to finish his career at Leeds.
I wouldn't hold him against him. He's been the best free transfer I've ever seen. He's some player, James Milner. He seems to be getting best with age. But when you look at our team, they're all young. Every single one. They can play for the next 5 years for Liverpool. I mean, Trent is obviously probably going to be the club captain eventually one day. After Hendo, I think it's probably going to go into Van Dijk, which rightfully so.
Yeah. I mean, I think it'll be a toss-up actually. If all the players are still there when Henderson hands the armband over, it's going to be either Trent or Van Dijk, and you could argue the case for either, to be honest.
Yeah. Nobody. Trent, I seen a stat the other day, I think he's close to having the same amount of assists as Paul Scholes, and he's 22.
That's ridiculous.
21, 22, 22 this year, so...
And the accolades that Paul Scholes got through his career.
Yeah. I mean, Paul Scholes is an unbelievable midfielder, but in terms of assists, it's like having De Bruyne at right back, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I've heard that before, and it's so true.
Yeah.
To have someone who can pass that accurately from that, you see some of the crossfield passes he plays to Robbo, it's like...
Unbelievable.
He doesn't even have to look.
He just knows, doesn't he?
He just knows. I mean, and that's obviously like drummed into them in training or whatever, but to have the technique to pull it off at that age...
It's such a smart move, I think, from Jurgen as well, because people think it was Rodgers who gave Trent's debut, but it was Jurgen who brought Trent through the team. And Trent naturally is a midfielder, and it was Jurgen's decision to push him out to right back, and now he's probably going to be the best right back ever.
Yeah, it's looking that way.
Ever, like in the world, like
he's got some competition, like, but you got to see how his career
you think of like peak Dani Alves, is Trent far off? I don't think he is.
Skill, technical, probably not. You just got to see what he wins in his.
He's
career.
The best passer of all I've seen from the fullback.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
In my lifetime, anyway. You got another assist for Henderson, which we're going to go on to now. Again, sublime. Some stats for you on Henderson though. 100% dribble success rate, 80% pass success rate, got a goal and an assist. Form of his life, isn't it?
Yeah, I was like you. I used to slate him. I used to call him all sorts.
I think everyone did. Like,
yeah, the majority. There'll be the few who will claim that they never did, but you're lying. Everyone did. Everyone called him a crab, and everyone was like, just turn around and pass the.
No matter
ball forward.
whenever the team was announced, if you went on Twitter, he was rinsed.
Yeah.
My brother was the biggest hater of Jordan Henderson you'll ever meet. Now he's moved on to Lallana. I think he just has to hate someone.
I mean, me and you have had plenty of like conversations through text in the past few years over Henderson playing, and it's like, I'm made up for him, to be honest with you. I'm made up. He's just basically just. He's
shut all the haters up.
He's shut all the haters up, and he's gone. He's just flexed.
It's just since Madrid, I feel like since him winning that Champions League, he's just got this aura of confidence around him, like nobody's better. And when Fabinho was injured, that's when I thought Liverpool would slip. Because when he got injured, it was around December time when we had the intense amount of fixtures. We had to go to Qatar, all that. And I thought, who's going to... Like, Henderson doesn't like that role. He's already said this season he asked Klopp to move further forward. Yeah. And he's played it probably on par with Fabinho, if not sometimes better than Fabinho.
Yeah.
And that's credit to him. Fabinho is the best holding midfielder in the world, and we haven't missed him.
We haven't. He's a fantastic player, and in that position, he's one of the best in the world. And as you say, Henderson's just slipped right in, and credit to him, we haven't missed Fabinho, and I never thought I'd say that, because when he hit form, Fabinho, he was like, what did they call him? Go Gadget or something?
Yeah.
He's everywhere.
Absolutely everywhere. But with Henderson, we go touch back on PFA Player of the Year. Who else could win it bar Henderson? Because Van Dijk got it last year. Van Dijk set the bar so high, I don't think he'll get it again this year, because it's just Van Dijk now. It's just, I think he's in the same breath as Messi, and now if he's just that consistent, it's just, I don't think he will get PFA Player of the Year, because that's something that is an impact on a team. It's not like the Ballon d'Or where it's just a status thing. But in my eyes, there's nobody else in English football who's had more of an impact on a team than Jordan Henderson this year.
No, I mean, none of the other teams have had, that I can think of, a player who's massively affected the form, or that they've got. Obviously, you've got strikers scoring goals. Danny Ings has done quite well for Southampton, I think. But I mean, as you say, has an impact this season. Henderson.
The only other person I maybe thought of was Vardy. Seems to have found his form again under Rodgers, but now then he was fizzling out, and obviously he's got injured. But with Henderson, I've been watching him, dare I say it, but the way he's been leading the game, it's reminded me of Gerrard. He's nowhere near as talented as Steven Gerrard, and Steven Gerrard will be the best player that's ever played for Liverpool in my eyes. But in terms of his leadership qualities, obviously he learned from the best with Stevie. And the way he's been leading that team in recent weeks, it's Gerrard-esque.
It is, and I think that was the issue when Henderson got the armband. His major flaw that I could see was that he wasn't Steven Gerrard.
Yeah, and everyone used to always say that, didn't they? Like, it's not Gerrard, and I think that's why...
Because we've been so spoiled having Gerrard for that long. Whoever's going to come in straight away is going to be the fall guy, because
I was thinking though, obviously everyone used to slate Henderson, me myself. Did we slate him because he wasn't Gerrard? Because Jurgen's always stuck with Henderson. Always.
Every manager that he's had
is stuck with Henderson. There's a reason he plays for England. There's a reason he's going to captain England in the Euros. There's a reason Jurgen kept him as the club captain of Liverpool. I personally think Henderson people are now starting to appreciate him more because he's won stuff at Liverpool, and they aren't now saying, but Gerrard. Because ultimately, if he wins the league this year, which he will, he's done what Gerrard never could.
Yeah.
I know he's in a better team. Gerrard had shocking players around him when you think of the teams Gerrard's been in.
Barring 1 or 2 seasons, he had some awful teammates. I mean, the guys that put up with their lads Juve and the likes.
And Paul Chesky and Jovanovic and Andrei Varen and Audrey Varen. And like, when you think of some of the teams Liverpool had,
we deserve this year.
Yeah. Everyone says about Liverpool being unbearable this year, but I think they've made us unbearable. When
they've given us so
I've
much
had 25 years of being called a bin dipper, and 96, people talking about Dar, which is disgusting, and all these insults you get week in, week out off away fans. The only game I've been to this year where we haven't been slated by fans is Sheffield United. Because obviously they always have a dig, but when we played Sheffield United, it was around Christmas time, and you usually hear the thieving scousers let them know. Sheffield United they had good banter, to be fair, saying like Champions League on, you'll never sing that, and I just feel like we are going to be unbearable, and we've got a captain who everyone thinks is absolutely shocking, and we're going to win the league with him. And I think with Liverpool fans, they know a good player when you see it. Like Bobby is only just this season. People start to say how good he is. I've said for years, Roberto Firmino is the system.
Yeah,
Liverpool do not play. But when I think about that now, if you think back to the games where Trent's being benched for a rest, Liverpool, the creativity dies out.
Yeah.
Trent is so important, but the whole team, there's no individuals in it. When you think back to the when we nearly won it with Rodgers, it was Suarez. It was Suarez. I know there was Suarez and Sturridge, and it was the SAS and then Sterling as well, but it was Suarez. It was everything come through Suarez. He was the main man. Where now, to me, there's not one player in the Liverpool team who just like, apart from Van Dijk, who is the best in the world. But
if you took Van Dijk out, I still think we'd
do a job. Because we took Alisson out for 10 games, we didn't get beat.
And by the way, Adrian,
unbelievable.
Shout out to Adrian, by the way, because he is the best backup keeper in the world. For me.
Come in, done a job. When I remember, I was at the first game of the season against Norwich, and when Alisson got injured, I remember turning to Jordan, who I was sat next to, and saying, I don't know what we're going to do this season. Because let's not forget, Adrian was West Ham's second choice keeper. He wasn't the first choice keeper, he was their cup keeper. And he's come to Liverpool. His agent deserves a pay rise. He's won the Super Cup, the Club World Cup, and he's going to win the league, potentially even the Champions League in the season he's here. But when he's come in and done a job, and that's what I mean, there's no player in Liverpool. Alisson's best keeper in the world, you take him out, we didn't get beat. Van Dijk's best centre half in the world, you take him out, don't think we'd get beat. The team's not full of individuals anymore, and every single player in the team wants to win for the shirt. They're not bothered about individual accolades, and whether that's through the press officers being so resilient with them, that every single interview you have, it's just next game. No one's talking about it. I think they're thinking it. I think the likes like Trent, like the scousers in the team, they're thinking it. Like Trent, Curtis Jones, Nico Williams and stuff, they're all thinking we're going to win the league here, and they are getting excited. But because you see it from like the Instagram captions where Trent's like one game at a time, where other people are like we keep going.
That's just drummed into them. I mean, I think even Jurgen Klopp at that United game when Salah scored, if you could read his mind, you can see it in his face. He was like, that's the moment. He was the same as everyone. That's the moment. That was the tipping point for everyone. And
that's the first time Anfield's sung it.
Exactly. Everyone's been holding it in for weeks.
I mean, I said on last week's podcast that I've heard people saying Liverpool top the league, and I'm not one to say it, because I have had the pain of Rodgers' season and the pain of last season. But the whole of the stadium said we're going to win the league after that United game, didn't they? And after the Wolves game, it was sung again.
I think even before the United game, we were 13 points clear. If you'd have put us in City's position, if we were 13 points behind City at that point, you'd say the league's over.
Yeah.
And I think Klopp probably would as well, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
He'd be coming up and press, it's a long way to go.
But with the game in hand against West Ham, we will go 19 points clear from City at the top.
Yeah.
So when you think back to Leicester won the league on roughly 70 odd points, Liverpool are on 60 points. It's not even the end of January. It's scary. We will be on over 60 points by the end of January, and that's saying if we beat West Ham, but then it's at their stadium. I can't see us not beating them. I think if we had a really bad day, we might get a draw, but Leicester absolutely tore them apart last week. West Ham they're just one of them teams who'll always be in the league. They've got good players, but they'll never be. Yeah. But they're
never going to challenge for Europe.
They're a bit like Everton, really. They've got a good team, a good manager, but they can't do nothing with it because the fan base demands too much. And they've obviously been in London. They've got the likes. They've seen like Chelsea and Arsenal that dominate. Same with Everton. They've seen us. Everton are just Everton, aren't they? But I'm not worried. 19 points clear probably by the end of January. There's nobody else who's going to win it.
It would kill me. I mean, I think that me and football,
they'd be done.
That'd be such a. I think that'd be like historic. Would it be historic? People would never forget that if that happened. And
I don't think we'd ever live it down. Never.
I don't know why we chatting shit about that, because it's just not going to happen.
I also touched on Minamino as well. A player who I was really looking forward to seeing in the last podcast. Finally got his chance, but there's been news coming out that Manny's had scans and he's okay. Oh, that's good. So I think it was just precaution, and he asked to come off, so I think he just knew something wasn't right. He didn't have a bad debut, 96 pass completion. Klopp said he needed treatment on his calf at half time because obviously he's went from the Austrian league. He's played Champions League football, but ultimately he's went from the Austrian league to the Premier League. and the intensity against Wolves, obviously the hardest game we've played this season, would you say it was a good debut?
It was okay. He didn't set the world on fire, but he did okay. He didn't...
Well, see, I focused on him a lot, and I think me personally would say he was the most underrated player on the pitch that day. Nobody spoke about him, but he was everywhere.
His movement was quite good. I think if Salah squares that ball to him and he scores, we talk about it a whole different way.
Yeah. I think with Minamino as well, I think he just hasn't got the confidence in the team yet to take players on. So when he got the ball, like his 96 pass completion, he was just passing it away. And you can't fault him for that because 96% of his passes went to a Liverpool player, so his pass was with pinpoint accuracy. But
do you think maybe he didn't have the confidence to scream at
people
Salah? So maybe on that chance, do you think he should be screaming for
So when you think back to when Salzburg played us, one of my favourite seats in Anfield is the main stand upper because you can see everything.
I think I was behind you for that game, wasn't I?
Yeah, and when this is the player who gave Van Dijk a run for his money. Yeah. He's the first player who ever done it. He was absolutely phenomenal. I think when you think back to Klopp's face when he turned Liverpool's defence inside out. So when he's got the confidence, you know what he can do. But I just don't think he had the confidence at Salzburg because of how well he was playing. He had Haaland in front of him to take on Van Dijk. Now he's coming to the biggest team in the world, and he obviously is going to lack confidence. So I'm thinking he's still going to need time, like Robbo did, like Fabinho did, and Klopp's so good at easing that in. Yeah. But at the end of the day, Minamino's not being brought in to play week in, week out. He's been brought in as cover, so we can play where Bobby plays, he can play where Mo plays, he can play where Sadio plays.
Would you play him tomorrow against Shrewsbury?
All day.
Even though he's played most of the game on Thursday?
Yeah, I'd play him all day. It's not going to be as intense as Wolves. I think Shrewsbury will come at us. They've got some good players. I was watching some of the games back before. They got some good players to play some good football.
Who did they just beat to get to us? It was the defender got that last minute winner or something, wasn't it? It was a team above them, I'm sure.
Yeah, this is Shrewsbury's biggest game of the season. They're playing as the European champions, soon to be English champions. They're going to come at us, but I will play Minamino because at the end of the day, Shrewsbury are a few leagues below us. They're not Liverpool quality. And I think playing Minamino, he would run rings around them. It'd give him confidence. If he bags a goal, he's going to give him the confidence knowing he scored for Liverpool. I personally would go with the normal bench with the kids. So you'll have Divock playing, you'll have Adrian playing, you'll have Minamino playing, potentially Keita if he's, I don't know if he's still injured.
Yeah, that guy is made out of biscuits.
But when he plays, we started to see glimpses of what he is. He is going to be phenomenal. If we can get the Naby Keita that he saw for Leipzig, he is some player. But it's getting that out of him. It's getting that Keita out of him. We have seen glimpses of it. I think if he's fit, he plays.
Curtis Jones.
All day. Curtis Jones should be playing all day. He's just skyrocketed in terms of reputation at the club. When you think at the start of the season, he was never on the bench. He was the captain of the youth team, I think. But he was a youth player, and that I think this season he's been on the bench most games. He's catapulted himself right into Jurgen's plans. I think
that goal against Everton's done
the world of good, the absolute world of good, and I'm disappointed to have seen Brewster go out on loan because I think he would have been good for a cup run, but I can understand why. And I hope he will as well as Swansea. And I think the thinking is if Brewster performs there, they're probably going to come up because they're on the cusp of the playoff places. And I think if they come up, he'll go on loan with them again and do a season in the Prem with them. And I think that's good thinking by Jurgen because he's not going to go into the front three anytime soon. No. But the player we've just bought, I can't even think of the name off the top of my head. First game, scored 2 goals. He's an absolute nobody, but he's just been brought in to replace Brewster in the youth setup. I think he'll play. Okay. But
how about that Chiravella? You give him a go?
Yeah, I give him a go. I think he's just one of them. He's like the most senior youth player we've got, isn't he? I don't think he'll be here after this season because he's 23, 24 now. I think for his own personal development, he needs to move on.
At that age, he should, if he's not in the first team regularly.
Yeah, I think out of you always know who's gonna make it out of the kids when you see them. But Liverpool, in my eyes, over the next few years, have got such a right back dilemma. Trent is obviously the best in the world, so he's there. Then you've got Neco Williams, who is he's overtook However now. Now I used to think Kejan However was amazing. And next to Van Dijk, he's going to flourish.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, in a few years, we could have Kijana Helver, Sepp van den Berg and Gomez. So it's the Dutch core again, like on the right and left back. We've got Van Dijk at the minute, he's like having 2 players. But Neco Williams is overtook. However, in my eyes, Neco Williams has been... He had the assist against Arsenal to get a Origi's last minute goal. He was phenomenal against Everton. I think he'll start against Shrewsbury, and they've played against Arsenal and Everton and Villa. I know they got knocked out by Villa.
That's what I mean.
Shrewsbury's going to be a walk in the park for them. Harvey Elliott has to start. He is the best 16-year-old I've ever seen for Liverpool. He is some player. You can see he's got a bit of an ego on him, but rightfully so. He's
I don't mind a bit of that.
He's world class. I like that he's different with his hair and stuff. Yeah. I like that he's kept it moving to Liverpool. I like that he's a boyhood red. You can just see he wants to play for the team. Yeah. All the kids do, but when
it's quite refreshing to see a young lad coming through the academy who's actually got a bit about him, and he's not just like a robot that they've moulded into, you know, this media friendly player that they just roll them all through like that. He's actually got a bit about him.
I really like Harvey Elliott. I don't think since he's come in he's had a bad game for Liverpool, even when he played for the first team. I mean, I don't watch the youth stuff much, but I know when I do, and I have watched it, he's scored some phenomenal goals. He's played unbelievable.
He's so confident for a kid.
Yeah, so confident. But I do feel like, do you think now, I've seen him in the papers this week, Bobby Duncan apparently getting moved on from Fiorentina because he's been demanding first team football and they're getting rid of him. He's got rid of his agents to get the move through. It just screams what happened in the summer. Do you think he's devastated now when he looks at it and sees how much opportunities these kids are getting in the first team?
He must be gutted. He must be.
Yeah.
Because he's looking at all his mates getting a game. And then being the big mouth, has got off and then...
He hasn't played well in it. He was good for Liverpool's kids. He was good. He's a notorious goal scorer. Bobby Duncan reminds me a little bit of Michael Owen in a sense of nothing was ever good enough for him. Yeah, he's got so much talent, but he's going to move.
Always wants more.
Yeah, he's going to move around that much. He's not going to. If Michael Owen would have stayed at Liverpool, he would have had the best stats ever for a Liverpool player. He'd be an absolute Liverpool legend. I know he left to go to like the likes of Madrid. He said it was a mistake and he wanted to come back, and Rafa wouldn't have him, so we went to Newcastle. But then Madrid aren't in you shouldn't. If you're a boyhood red, no club. For me, if I ever played for Liverpool and Real Madrid came in, Liverpool's bigger than Real Madrid.
Because there's only one way from Liverpool.
Yeah.
And especially at the minute.
There's no way.
Any club you move to from Liverpool is a step down.
I've said that as well. Like, people linking Mane to Madrid this year. Why would he go there? And Madrid aren't even winning their leagues. And it seems like everyone who's going there is going worse. Hazard has not been Hazard over there. Courtois has been shocking.
awful.
And Courtois was really good at Chelsea. Like, unbelievably good. So it just seems like... But then... I'd like Madrid to not focus on Mane and focus on De Bruyne, just to get him away from City. But I do think Pep said he's going to stay next year, so I think De Bruyne will stay. But I think when Pep goes, that team's going to crumble. I think the best person for De Bruyne to learn under would be to go to Madrid and learn under Zidane.
Yeah.
If you're learning from the best ever, he's good. You'll get better, and can De Bruyne get better? It's scary to think about it, but. That, like, going back to like Liverpool's period of dominance, Pep's going to do another season. I think depends how well they do in the Champions League this year.
I think if they go out in the early stages of the Champions League, he'll be gone.
Yeah.
The City owners won't stand for it, and I think he'll spit his dummy out and just get off.
And I think if Inter win the Italian league, Sarri will get sacked from Juventus, and then I think the opportunity for Pep to go and manage Juventus and work with Ronaldo and be one of the only managers to have worked with Ronaldo and Messi, I think that opportunity is too tasty for him. I think to go to Italy and do it there as well. Pep's notorious. He's going to go around every league. He's going to go to Italy. He's probably going to go to France. He's going to win the league, and he'll be the manager who's won the 5 biggest leagues.
See, I'd like to see him not go to PSG. Go to, I don't know, anyone else in France. Monaco, if he goes to Monaco, or if he goes to Saint Etienne and win the league with them.
Pep Guardiola is the biggest fraud in world football. I stand by that. I'll argue that till I'm in a coffin. He is the biggest fraud in world football. I said it on the last podcast. I say it to everyone. One of my mates, he's always saying to me, "No, he's not. He's world class. He's a fraud."
He wouldn't have done what Klopp's done at Liverpool.
No chance.
We wouldn't have won the league under Guardiola. I doubt.
The teams they've had, when he was in Barca, he had Ronaldinho, Messi, Xavi in his prime, Iniesta in his prime,
Best
Puyol,
players in the world.
Busquets. Barcelona back in the day, there was no stopping them. They were the team. Then he went to Bayern Munich, and he had Robben and Ribery when they were the best wingers in the world.
Yeah.
He had Lewandowski and Neuer. Went to City, and he's got arguably the greatest striker ever in the Premier League. Bar Henry, but Aguero, for me, just edges it. I used to absolutely hate Henry because he
used to tear us everyone every time we played.
He is.
I mean,
incredible, but I think Aguero's the best striker the Premier League's ever seen.
Probably.
So in that, when you think of the City team he had a company. I mean, obviously he made changes and he didn't get it right straight away. He brought Bravo and didn't get it right. Got Edison.
But he's gone into rich clubs. So
like with City, they could go. You could say, "I want this player," and
exactly. They're spending 50 million on fullbacks.
Yeah. Like they're saying, I've seen a City fan saying Liverpool bought the league this season. They've still spent. They spent, was it 40 or 50 million on Cancelo? They spent 40, 50 million on Rodri. So they've still bought players, and Cancelo doesn't start. They still start Kyle Walker, even though Cancelo is. I don't know if you see much of him in the Italian leagues. He is a fullback and a half.
Yeah.
Cancelo is world class, and he just doesn't seem to play for City. When he does play for City, he's not the best either. So maybe that's a confidence issue. City, I think, will crumble when he goes. I think Sterling, Moneybags, will probably go wherever Pep goes because money. I think Pep will take Phil Foden with him as well because he said he's the best player he's ever worked with tactically.
I wonder who City will get next, because
probably Thomas Tuchel. They'll probably try and follow because he's obviously learned. He's followed on from Jurgen, didn't he, in Dortmund and stuff.
I think whoever comes after Pep is going to be a fall guy. I don't think it's going to be a case of.
I think the best transition for City would have been keeping Arteta as Pep's number 2 until Pep left, and then him naturally easing into it. Because he hasn't been bad at Arsenal. He hasn't won a game yet, but he hasn't been bad. He's got like the Chelsea game midweek. Arsenal were firing on all cylinders, but. I do genuinely believe Liverpool are going to dominate world football for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
Whilst Jurgen's in charge,
it would take something drastic to change that.
And obviously the King's going to come back when Jurgen goes.
You couldn't have wrote that, could you? They both signed a contract on the street. Was it the same day or the day before?
I don't think Jurgen's going to stay till 2024. I think if he wins the league and Champions League this year, I think he might do one more season.
Hasn't he just signed a new contract though?
Yeah, but I don't think he'll stay till 2024. If he does, fantastic. I think if Jurgen stays till 2024, he's going to end his career at Liverpool.
Do you think Gerrard is going to last that long at Rangers?
Yeah.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Even if they don't...
They love him. They absolutely love him up there. Like, when you speak to Rangers fans, they absolutely adore Steven Gerrard.
So if they go another 2 seasons and they don't win the league, or they don't win the cup, they don't win a thing...
It's not just that though with Rangers. When you think Rangers have come back from a team that's been... Was it the 3rd tier of Scottish football they went down to?
Yeah, they got...
So Gerrard's brought them back. He's got them into Europe every year. He's doing well in Europe.
I don't think Gerrard brought them back up, did he? They were already in the Prem.
No, he was already in the Scottish Prem, but Gerrard's got them back into Europe.
Yeah.
He's done well in Europe. I think they're in the... They got out the group, and they had young boys on final in that group. I wrote Rangers off when I seen their group. It was a tough group for them. He got out of that, obviously his European experience. He beat Celtic the other day. The last time I checked,
I think that's a big moment for him.
I'll have another look now, but last time I checked, they was above Celtic.
No, Celtic are, I think, 2 points clear, but Rangers got a game in hand last time I checked. That was yesterday or the day before, unless they played since I checked.
Let's have a gander.
I think if Rangers win the game in hand, they go top.
So currently, Celtic are playing now, so Rangers must be playing tomorrow. So it's currently Celtic are 3 points clear at the time recording, but it's 0-0 against Ross County, so they're going to probably win that. So they'll be 5 points clear, but Rangers will then got 2 games in hand.
So if they win both of them,
if they win both, the top. So if Gerrard wins the league this year,
he'll build him a statue.
He'll probably be regarded as one of Rangers' best ever managers. Don't forget, Celtic the past 3 years won the treble. Yeah. They've won the treble the past 3 years. I think Stevie will be one of their best ever managers. Even if Gerrard doesn't win anything at Rangers, would you still think he's the natural replacement for Klopp?
Depends how badly he does at Rangers, to be honest with you.
I'd have him.
I would have him.
And
without doubt, I would take him.
I think no matter who takes over Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool, the intensity is there, the style of play is there. When you watch...
Don't get me wrong, I would never fire Jurgen Klopp to bring him in.
No.
But when Klopp's time comes to an end, I would bring Stevie in and see how he does.
Well, when you watch Rangers, Gerrard does play quite intense football. His style of play is really good. It's different to Klopp's, but then the energy of the players that Gerrard would inherit off Jurgen would be exactly what he wants. He wants players who can play full throttle for 90 minutes. He's got that when he comes into Liverpool. I think if he comes to Liverpool, I don't think he'll bring all his coaching staff with him from Rangers. He's got a really good coaching setup there, with like Gary Mack and stuff and Tom Colshaw and now. He's got a good coaching setup, but I think if he comes into Liverpool, I think if he took it, he'd have the likes of Carragher in his backroom staff. I do believe that for his football brain.
Do you think Carragher would give up his cushy little job on Sky though, just to...
Would Jamie Carragher leave Sky Sports with Gary Neville to come and work with Steven Gerrard at Liverpool's backroom? Yeah.
Do you think so? Yeah.
Carragher's he's a phenomenal pundit, but if it's obvious how much he goes to Liverpool. I think he would for Gerrard. If Alonso's not made much in management by then, he's managing in like a kids like under 18 or something in Spain. I think he might come in, because when you think also the players Gerrard's worked with who respect him so much, Gerrard could have the likes of Torres as his forward coach, Alonso as his midfield coach, Carragher and Ipia as his defensive coaches, and then Reina as his goalkeeper coach, realistically, or anybody
if
else.
You know, if they'd afford it, or
but then John Achtenberg seems to have improved this year, because, well, I don't know if that's just Alisson being in the class, but I think if Gerrard's backroom staff might change when it comes to Liverpool, it would be, modern day, the saddest day of my life was when Steven Gerrard left Liverpool.
Yeah, that was, I think...
It hurt.
I think it hurt him more.
Like, hearing that speech, and he's come out and said on Carragher's podcast, which, by the way, if you listen to it, if you haven't, it's one of the best podcasts you'll ever hear.
Better than Crouchy's,
yeah. The Carragher and Gerrard, they just got... It's mad, because if you listen to it, you'll get what I mean. So Gerrard, you only know Gerrard's voice from what you hear on the telly. So he's media trained, he's well spoken. When he sits down next to Carragher, he's the biggest scouse dodger ever.
The camera's not.
But he says his biggest regret was leaving to go to LA Galaxy. He got offered a pay as you play, which he believed was wrong, which is wrong, because he's the
player of his stature.
Yeah, he could rightfully have a statue outside Liverpool. But then he believes if he would have stayed, he would have got the back end of the Klopp.
He'd have loved the season under Klopp, wouldn't he?
Yeah, and I think Klopp would use Gerrard fantastically. I mean, if Gerrard weren't managing, I wouldn't write it off as giving him a 6 month.
I mean, he could have come in and done a Milner, couldn't he?
Yeah. Just played as and when.
Yeah.
I would have loved that. I would absolutely love that, to see Gerrard. But obviously he's in Rangers. I do think he will inherit it, and he's the best there is, the best there was, the best there'll ever be. We'll never see a more complete midfield than Steven Gerrard. If you imagine Steven Gerrard in this Liverpool side,
I mean,
he'd be talked about as, we know he's the best ever, other people don't.
I hope for his sake he does come back and he does win the league as manager.
Yeah,
because that's
right
for him. I think that must be tearing him apart, and it will do until.
That's why I said on last week's podcast, to win it, when we lift it, it's going to be against Chelsea, and there's no better team. People, obviously, if we win it at Goodison and lift it against Chelsea, then what's the point of watching football anymore? I said that last week. But to lift it in front of all their fans is the best thing ever, because they're the worst fans in the world. I absolutely despise Chelsea. So yeah, that's going to be perfect. But looking forward to tomorrow's game. What score do you reckon? What score do you reckon Liverpool's kids are going to do Shrewsbury?
I'd say probably 3 or 4-1. I can see us conceding.
I can't. When you think of Adrian against Everton, Adrian's come on leaps and bounds. The confidence.
If Lovren plays,
I know Lovren's got a mistake in him.
He's got a mistake in him, and he'll be rusty.
Yeah,
he'll be not fully fit. So I think that they'll probably target.
Well, the team I'd go with would be Adrian, Neco Williams, Mata, Lovren, because Vandenberg's just not ready.
Probably that Larouci.
Larouci, I really like him. I liked him in pre-season, and he
was the one who got his leg near broken by that
severe team.
They were horrible.
But I think I'd play him. Then midfield, I'd go with Kaiser if he's fit, but I don't know if he will be. But I'd go with Lallana. He'll probably play CDM.
Yeah,
he played very well against Everton. I think he'll be captain.
I'd probably play that
Chiravella and
Curtis, maybe.
Curtis Jones, all day. If Curtis Jones doesn't play, I'll be devastated. And then the front three, I'd go with Origi, Minamino and Elliott.
Yeah.
Minamino on the left, Origi in the middle, Elliot on the right.
And that's strong enough.
I think
strong enough to beat most teams.
Yeah. I think Origi will play because obviously he hasn't played much. He is our king, our lord.
What a guy.
But I reckon 6-0.
You going 6? Or?
I wasn't wrong, may I add, on the last week's podcast. I said I can see Liverpool beating Manchester United 4-0. Now, if we're going to be technical, Bobby's goal was a goal.
That deserves 2, actually, for the finish.
So that was a goal, and Wijnaldum's was offside.
Yeah, it was.
So I was 1 goal off, but we still scored 4 goals, technically. But
you're having that one.
I'm having that one. But yeah, I'm going to... Mystic Matt, like McGregor. I'm thinking 5 or 6-0.
I'll stick with 3-1.
After watching a few Shrewsbury games, they're good, but then that team is just too strong. And it's good, but scary to think of how good. That isn't even probably. Is it our second choice team or third choice? The kids. It's a mixture, isn't it, of kids?
I mean, don't get me wrong. I hope you're right.
Yeah,
I hope it is 5 or 6 0. I don't want
absolutely bash them. I mean, Liverpool's kids play better with that bit of experience. When you cast your mind back to Villa, they were amazing because it was just solid kids. Klopp wasn't there. I think when Klopp's there and they've got a few first-team players,
I wouldn't even class that game as part of our season.
No. It was a joke how it was set up anyway, and the fact we had to play it. But when you think back, every time them kids have played with a bit of experience, you can't fault them.
No, they've been fantastic.
And I'm going to go for a Curtis Jones 40-yard screamer tomorrow.
Yeah?
Because that Everton game wasn't a fluke. When you watch the academy games, he scores them goals for fun. He scored one a week or 2 after the Everton game for the academy. It's Gerrard-esque, his finishing. Yeah. It really is. When I really hope that he has another unbelievable game.
You think Shaq will get a go?
I think he's still injured. There's talks of him going to Roma, but then I'm thinking, why would anyone leave Liverpool when you're about to get a Premier League medal?
I know.
I like Shaq. I do like Shaq. I know apparently he's got a bit of an ego, and players who play on like Crouchy and stuff, they've said he
bit of a diva, like, isn't he? But I mean, he's got such a good touch. Like I can't remember who he come on against, and his ball was played over the top and it come down with snow on it.
Yeah.
And he just put his foot out and it was stuck to his foot. And I'm like, he's
so
just
good.
Come on the pitch.
He is a good player. He's good to back up as well, but if Roma are going to pay the 30 million now, I've seen rumoured, they can have him. I'll drive him for 30 million. Yeah. I don't even know how much we paid for it. It wasn't much.
No, it was 17 million. It was a fairly risk-free transfer.
And when you think about it, since he's left, Stoke have crumbled as well. Yeah. Stoke aren't doing well at all, so it just shows how important he was to Stoke. But yeah, tomorrow I'm going 6-0. I'm going Divock hat-trick, Curtis Jones screamer, and Harvey Elliott's going to get one, and Minamino's going to get one as well. And I think man of the match tomorrow is going to be Minamino if he plays.
You reckon?
I think he's going from the Austrian league, so Shrewsbury's probably the type of competition he's used to facing. And in that league, he was daft. He was him and Haaland. Haaland's just daft anyway.
I mean, he scored 5 goals in half an hour or so.
He's daft anyway. He's a player we should have looked at, but obviously we're going to get better than him by the looks of it with Timo Werner, but we'll see.
Would you say Timo Werner's better than Haaland?
Yeah. Timo Werner's absolutely incredible. I do watch quite a bit of German football.
I mean, Werner's been doing it for longer.
And he's the past 2 months, it's been absolutely incredible. People know how good he's been just in the fact he's at PFA. He's had to play with a month.
His finishing is sensational.
He's unbelievable, Timo Werner, and I think when Werner comes in, that'll be when Henderson starts to not play every game, and because I think Bobby will drop further back.
You see Bobby in the midfield,
yeah, I can see Bobby in the midfield and Werner up for. I can't see us ever taking Bobby out for what he does at work ethic, and he is the system. So I can see Bobby dropping back a bit, and Werner playing, because I can't. The only position I can see in the midfield going would be Henderson's due to age. Because if he carries on playing next season like he's done this season, I don't know who you'd take out that midfield. Because Wijnaldum is so consistent. He's one of
Wijnaldum against United. He was pushing for man of the match for me.
I mean, I've met him. I saved him once when I used to work in clubbies, and he just doesn't stop smiling. Wijnaldum's one of the nicest people.
Yeah, he's a genuinely nice fella.
He's a proper nice fella, and I was so pleased to see him. When I saved him, he'd only just signed. It was like, what's he going to be like? He's come from Newcastle. So pleased to have seen how well he actually has done for Liverpool. But I do see the the end game being Werner being up front and Bobby dropping a bit further back. It'd be nice to have Mbappe next to Werner. But that's
quite optimistic. That.
It'd
be nice.
I don't think it is. I really don't think it is, because even John Henry's wife didn't rule it out when she was tweeting about it the other day. She was just talking about stories of people asking for it. And she's like, I only sign bats and balls, like baseball bats and footballs. No one's ruled it out. Mbappe's come out and said we're a machine, said how amazing Trent Alexander-Arnold is. Milner's done a celebration, Trent's done a celebration, Shaq's done a celebration.
They're all like that.
It just, no one's...
Come on, Killian, you come.
I know Klopp said we physically can't afford them, but I do believe that if we get Mbappe, one of the front three's going. Probably,
it'll cost us at least one player.
I do think it might be Salah, but if our front three is Mane, Werner and Mbappe with Bobby behind them,
that's frightening.
We're good enough as we are now. And then you add,
are we going to be able to pay the wages for Mbappe though? That's another.
Liverpool's got one of the highest wage bills in the league. We did used to have a really good wage system, but we say that like when you get world class players, they're going to be on over two. I think Salah's the highest on 200 grand a week. So I think if you were to get rid of him for Mbappe, I think Mbappe would probably want about 250, so it's 50k more. Salah's what, 27 is he now? Mbappe's 20, 21.
He's only still
Trent's age, so
21 years, yeah.
So then you're just buying, like that's Liverpool's system, buy young. So if they did want to sell them, they can make a profit. And I do believe even if you paid 150 million for Mbappe, you could make a profit.
What do you reckon we get for Salah? If we're paying 150,
I think Salah might go to PSG as part of the swap deal. I think it might be Salah and 80 mil for Mbappe, which all.
How much didn't PSG pay? About 200 mil for Mbappe?
It was something ridiculous. I don't think it was that much. I think it was about 150 something. It was something stupid. But I think if they're getting Salah, who's like a right winger for them, PSG, this is their last season really of being decent, because it looks like Neymar wants to go, doesn't he? He's probably going to go back to Barca or Madrid.
Cavani's
going, by the looks of it, to Atletico. I hope to God he doesn't come before the Champions League because they can't score. But because he got a card, but that's all that's left there really, because I think Neymar's going to go. I think Mbappe's going to go, because Mbappe's even said himself he's not talking about his future till the end of the season. And when players say that, they're leaving.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they're not committing. If they're committing, then they'll say they're committing.
If you go and ask Van Dijk where he's playing next year, he'll say Liverpool. They've asked him, Mbappe, BBC asked him, and he said, we'll speak about that at the end of the year. When you say that, you'll go.
Yeah, I mean, if you probably ask any player in the French league where are you playing next year, they're not going to want to commit to playing that fucking league.
It's boring,
it's awful.
Yeah, it's boring. But yeah, tomorrow, 6-0. Hoping.
I hope you're right.
Right.
I also hope I'm right, because I'm putting money on 3-1.
Right, I'll see you all next week. Thanks for coming, Steve.
No problem, anytime.